Hello and welcome back to my channel, Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. I thought my wife would be very happy to see me after I already told her that I won't be able to make it back for the night because I was too busy at work. But no, it's not the case. Let's listen to the story. Also, if you like my kind of stories, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
To give some background, me and my wife met when we were around 10 years old. We have had a thing for each other ever since, but only got serious when we turned 18. I knew she was infatuated with me, and I was with her, so the only plausible next step was marriage. I proposed to her on Valentine's Day at a getaway weekend when we were 21, and the rest is history. We both make it work with money and our day-to-day lives, respectable jobs, nice well-kept home, no kids, nice circle of friends, and cordial families. Everything was perfect in my mind. The infidelity began when I was going through her phone. I saw a text to a guy from her work. This wasn't any direct flirting, but was still odd and suggestive if you ask me. She'd say things like, "I've had such a long day at work," and he'd say that they need to relax together and so on. I admit I have a temper and I was not about to let this happen.
OP told her that she can no longer contact him, to block him in front of his face, and she would no longer have her husband if she ever contact him again. She did everything he asked.
So, this brings me to Sunday night. I own a business with my cousin. We started it around age 20, and it really took off. We have an office where I sometimes sleep there when the workload gets on top of me. I usually get the work in order, and if it's too late, I'll spend the night there. So, I text my wife from about midday. Me and cousin are going to probably be kept here all night. I'll order in so you can eat out without me and don't wait up. Love you. She responded minutes later, telling me she was a bit sad she wasn't going to see me that night, but wished me well with my work and said she loves me too. All was good.
Now let us fast forward to later that same night.
I decided the work had taken enough of my weekend and that I wanted to see my wife, who I thought also wanted to see me. So, around 7 p.m., I began making my way home. When I got home, I heard two people talking upstairs, but couldn't make it out. So, I went up to the bedroom where I saw my wife and the other man. I admit I didn't handle it the best I could have. I started by landing on his bottom as he tried to save himself, saying, "Look, man, I'm sorry." I kicked him out of the house and sent him to walk home without his shoes. My wife was hysterical from the moment I walked in, and I came very close to getting physical with her also, but I didn't. Through all of this, she cried and cried, saying it was a stupid mistake, but by this point, my concerns from the text messages were proved to be justified. I repeatedly told her to save her breath, and I did not want to hear any of the idiotic explanations she had. I considered going back to the office, but I decided not to. Told her to get her stuff and stay wherever the duck she could.
OP wanted her out of his sight, so she stayed with her best friend since D-Day.
My phone has been blown up by her friends and family since D-Day, but I've ignored them. I told her dad what happened, though. He was livid and took my side. Since the first day, my anger has transitioned to sadness over the fact that our almost lifelong journey has been thrown away for some dirty dude from her work. I've been staying busy, but would be lying if I said every idle moment I get hasn't been spent moody, crying, or lamenting over what happened. I'm contacting lawyers tomorrow morning to get our divorce rolling.
End of part 1. Before we go to the update, let's listen to a few comments by the community.
The last Basil Ope says, "Going forward with a divorce is the best option. Also, block the people blowing up your phone. Technically, you can't legally keep her out of a home that is also hers, so ask the attorney the best way to handle it if she comes back. At bare minimum, one of you would need to stay in a different bedroom, and you should record all interactions, assuming you live in a single-party consent state for recording, so she doesn't accuse you of putting your hands on her or anything. Also, strongly consider counseling for yourself so that the pain and anger don't cause you to make any mistakes that would mess up your future." Wendy says, "She was crying and said it was a stupid mistake? She consciously messaged the guy to come over because she knew you weren't going to be home. She had the intent from the time she messaged you back. That is not a mistake, it's a choice. I'm sorry that this has hurt your marriage. Take some time for yourself to process and allow yourself to feel hurt, angry, and betrayed. Thank you for sharing. Adventurous Royal 93 says, I think you should look at this as a blessing in disguise. You are young, you can start an entire new chapter of your life and find the love you deserve. This is an absolute blessing. You should be so happy that you don't have children in the mix. You're 25, you have been in love, and you will find love again. It's not the end of the road for you.
Now, here is the update.
Okay, so a lot has happened since the last post. Sorry in advance for how long this post is going to be. And let me also say, I very much appreciated all of the support from everyone on the first post. After the first post, I'd done quite a few things. Got STD checked, all clear. I signed my share of the business over to my business partner, my cousin, temporarily until the divorce is settled. I canceled her phone contract that I paid for, took down all pictures I had with her, packed all of her clothes up, and I have been meeting up with someone. So, let me get into it. STD check negative was a good start, but still not enough to get me out of the sadness part. I won't sugarcoat it, the situation still had me upset. I was unable to forget about it due to her and friends constantly calling my phone. I eventually went for a sit-down with her parents. Her mom attempted to talk me back into the family, whereas her dad knew I was a man set in my ways and was very disappointed in his daughter. This happened about 2 days after the post. I like her dad and believe that we'll stay in contact due to the fact that we are both simple men who understand each other. I always respected him, and it's a shame his daughter is stopping me from legally being his son anymore. As for her friends who have called me more times than I could count, I just ignored them.
OP spent a lot of time with his friends and family, which helped him a lot.
I had a friend come over and we spent a few hours taking down pictures of her, taking all her stuff out of the house. This was very therapeutic for me and felt as though I was washing the stain from my life. It helped 10 times more than I thought it would. Divorce proceedings are in order. However, I believe I'll have serious issues with her signing the papers and so on. I already signed away my share of the company, so she doesn't get her cheating hands on that. I've gone complete no contact other than with lawyers, as you all suggested. I battled with the idea of using the AP's wife as leverage in case he tried to press charges on me. I laid hands on him when I caught him in my home. In the end, I thought, why not, and messaged her on Facebook. She initially believed me and then came back and said he told her that is a lie. All I had to do was show her the doorbell footage of him entering my front door and being sent away without his shoes. I don't think he's happily married anymore.
Now, on to OP's next chapter.
My mother thought it would be fun for me to come to her work Christmas party. I thought, why not? Hadn't gotten out at all since the incident and deserved a little time out. I went and was introduced to one of her coworkers' daughter. We hit it off and actually left the party together, but nothing else happened that night. A few nights before Christmas Eve, she came over and we properly hit it off. We met up numerous times and she ended up staying for 2 nights. Now, she's no love at first sight or a replacement for my wife, but she is a lovely woman who's most definitely keeping me in good company during the time I need it most. Christmas Day was harder than I expected, as I'd spent it with my significant other for a while. However, my family around me, keeping me fed and well-watered helped a lot. Overall, I think I'm coping way more than I thought I would. Just wanted to say thanks again to everyone who reached out to me, everyone who gave me a nice comment, and everyone who's been through the same thing and is staying strong.
Well guys, that's all we have from the original story. I think OP is doing everything right. He has gone no contact with his soon-to-be ex-wife and the divorce proceedings are in order. I really wanted to know the situation with her AP though. Hopefully, he is not happily married anymore. The best way to move past things such as this has always been to count your blessings rather than your misfortunes. You might not realize it now, but there will be a day when you realize how much worse it would be if there were kids involved. It is normal for you to mourn the relationship you thought you had. Just don't let her or anyone else convince you that you can get it back. She betrayed you, and it was not a one-time mistake. You saw the truth. Hold her for it. Here are some more community comments before we end the story for today.
Tulip Hayes says, other people have already said it, but you should talk to your lawyer about the charge and the rights to your company. It's nice to think she cheated and thus she isn't entitled to anything, but that's not how the law works, and this will almost certainly come back to bite you in the bottom if there is no prenup. Also, you might not want to hear this, but one of the best pieces of advice my parents ever gave me was to slow down. Think things through. Sleep on it. Ask for advice from family and professionals, and don't rush. Reading your post, I was happy for the actions you took, but I also feel like you are insanely rushing into new everything by already seeing someone new, signing away your company, messaging the cheater's ex-wife. I'm not saying you're wrong to do any of this. I'm just saying I think you should take your time and think about things a little more, especially with a divorce coming ahead. Arias98 says, I don't agree you are messing around with someone new when you're not divorced yet, and you are just separated. But apart from that, good on you. Maybe tell the new women you meet the following. 1. You're still married but separated. 2. You're not looking for anything serious. Don't use someone else to get over your problems. It doesn't make you any better than your wife, even though she cheated on you.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.